Book Marketing 101. I'm glad to have you here with us today as we talk about some of the strategies for you to ensure that you promote your book in the most effective manner. So, as we think about some of the key tips, it's really an invitation to be able to think strategically, plan ahead, and reach as many people as you can with your amazing book. And how do you do this? First, I want you to build out your author brand checklist. So before we dive into social media and launch plans, let's make sure that you're building a solid foundation for marketing your book and sharing your story. So these are the tools to help readers, media, and booksellers connect with you and not just your book. So make sure you have that short bio, 100 to 150 words. It really shines a light on who you are, your expertise, and what helped to inform and lay a solid foundation for your book writing journey. A longer bio may include a few additional details, awards, or highlights related to your career. We also want to make sure that you have that high resolution author headshot. You'll be using that early and often, so make sure that you have a few options of just you smiling, well lit, and showcasing the best of who you are through the power of picture. In addition, I want you to think about which social media platform will work best for you. Now, admittedly, you cannot use all of them at once. It would be overwhelming. They each have different style requirements, different logistical things to look at. But I want you to prepare with which social media outlet works best for you. Choose one or two, master them, use them well, reach your audience, build community, and make an impact. In addition, I want you to think about what are the components that you need in just a simple website and get started building. You can build the website or use Linktree, but we want to make sure that you have a central place for others to find the key details about your book and about you as an author. And then I want you to think about what are those 3 to 5 key things you want people to know about your book, and be sure to share that information as well. So as you're preparing and making sure you have all of these things, I also want to go over a few social medias do's and don'ts. First, do share your why. Why did you write this book? Why is it important right now? Who are you seeking to reach? I want you also to talk about the themes your readers care about. What helps to build that sense of community between you and your reader? What are they passionate about? Are they passionate about community building? Are they passionate about education? What are they passionate about? Help bridge those gaps. I also want you to think about what are your key relevant hashtags and save them and keep them on hand. Maybe it's related to a hashtag of own voices, recognizing that your book is culturally relevant because you've written the book based upon your lived experience and connectivity to the community. Course, kid lit. If you're writing children's books, people need to know. In addition, you can help to identify with the broader community and the movement around We Need Diverse Books by identifying as a BIPOC author as well. And then ask your friends, family, and networks to reshare your work. Help to build connectivity in meaningful ways by reaching a broader audience, expanding your net. And how do you do that? With the support of key collaborators. But most importantly, be yourself. It's your voice, it's your story that people will connect with. So make sure your voice shines through. Don't spam your feed with the same post over and over again. Make sure that you're building fresh and new content. Also, don't only post links, tell a story with each post. Use the feature of a video, create a reel, share a story, make your voice come alive, and don't stress about likes. Focus on connection and not perfection, meaning focus on building connections with your readers to engage them, to get them excited about your book so they'll share the message and help to inspire others. So I want to give you a general sense of a launch week game plan. I want you to recognize one thing that I always tell authors when I'm coaching. The reminder of a 90-10 rule. 10% is truly the power of your genius that's now reflected on a page of a book. I know it was a labor of love. I know it took a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of sleepless nights, but the 90% truly is connecting with others that need to hear your voice, that need to hear your story, that need the connectivity of the community that you will build through the power of a book. So that means that you need a plan, a strategy, and you need to be able to implement it in a systematic and direct manner. So how do we do this? I recommend a launch week game plan, starting off with Monday. Reveal the cover. It's launch week. Do the teaser. Let people know that you have something exciting to share, that new book. On Tuesday, tell me a bit about your personal story. Why did you write your story? For instance, for me, Justice Makes a Difference. I wrote Justice Makes a Difference because it is my personal story. It's the inspiration of those heroes and sheroes that inspired me to become a civil rights attorney and a leader in my community at a very young age. Why did you decide to write this book? Why is it important for the world right now? On Wednesday, share a favorite quote or excerpt from the book. Bring your readers into the community. And how you do that, and what better way to do that, is share a little bit about the book. On Thursday, share a reader review or testimonial. Even if it's from a friend or a family member, people want to know why this book is relevant, what's exciting about this book. And you're drawing towards the conclusion of the week. What would we like to see on Friday? That behind the scenes moment. We can call that great unveil. Maybe literally you ensure that you have that box, you're opening up that box and you're pulling out that first book, showing the packaging, showing the moment where you get that joy truly in your hands. Behind the scenes may also be an event. Maybe you have a read aloud event in your community. Share it, share early, share it often. All those visuals that help to bring your reading community into the experience. And then on Saturday, here's an opportunity. Remind folks to buy the book and also request it from their local library. That way you're ensuring that not only one person gets the joy of reading your book and learning more about the journey of your characters and about the history that you're trying to share in a nonfiction book, for example, but you're expanding and you're helping to build out that reading community. And what can that journey look like on Saturday? Be specific. Tell people where to purchase the book. Maybe it's on your bookshop page. Maybe it's at a local bookstore that's supporting and featuring your book. Whatever the plan is, be specific. That way people can find the book and find the resources that they need to support you without that being a challenge. So share early, share often, share the relevant links on where to purchase your book. In addition, I want you to take those readers behind the scenes. Go beyond the book. Make sure that you're creating the buzz to keep the interest in the book going. So you don't need to sell your book every day. Instead, I want you to think about what's the connection between your book and bigger and broader conversations that are happening in the news, in media, or even amongst your community members. Is it tied to education? Share a classroom resource. Maybe you even build out an education guide, for instance, or a teaching tool. Does it center BIPOC stories? Join a conversation about BIPOC stories or use a hashtag as well. Remember, we talked about hashtag BIPOC authors or hashtag own voices. Can you connect with local bookstores or libraries for a reading or a feature? Reach out. Make those connections in meaningful ways. Every post doesn't have to say, buy my book right now. Here's my book link. But sometimes it's enough to say, this is why my story matters. This is why I wrote this book. And this is why you'll find inspiration as well. What I also want you to think about is your book release strategy should also include a press release. Write a press release that gives an introduction to the book as well. That way, as others are thinking about what media stories to cover, information should be disseminated about your book, you can provide some of those key tools. And for your launch structure, I went through just 1 week, but I want you to continue that plan. I want you to also highlight. Of course, you'll have that teaser letting folks know your book is coming. I want you to make it memorable. With every book launch, I make sure that I have a book birthday. Sometimes it's a birthday party with a large group, and other times it is my favorite donut with a candle in the middle, celebrating a milestone that I brought my words, creative talent, and genius to pen and paper for a story that will inspire, uplift, and empower for generations to come. So make sure you have a book birthday celebration in the mix as well. Last but not least, I want to give you the invitation to stay connected. If you follow our social media pages at PPGJ Books, you will find additional resources to help not only build your audience, but to connect with fellow authors to share information and resources together. Why? Because in the end, you truly have no competition. This is really about collaboration. How do you help other authors reach their wildest dreams as well by helping to promote their books and ensuring that you're building a community with other writers? What better way to do that? It's connecting with other authors. So I encourage you to do a couple things. First of all, join a writing circle. If there's not one in your community, build it. You can even build it virtually. That way you have additional support from other authors. Join other associations that focus on writing in your particular genre or for your particular audience. That way you can connect and share meaningful resources, but also give a little motivation to each other as you're launching the first book, the second book, a series of books, and many books to come. So we are excited to be with you on this journey at Planting People Growing Justice. We are committed to helping young people learn, grow, and lead. And we do that with one book, one child at a time. So I hope that you will contribute your voice to this journey to inspire our future leaders. Thank you.